Welcome to Pilates Fit. Pilates combines stretches and strengthening exercises, making it one of the safest and most effective forms of exercise. It's particularly amazing to do at home with minimal equipment. So let's get started. You can sit tall on your mat with eyes closed, and we will start to focus on our breath, which is one of the main principles of Pilates. We're going to take a deep inhale continuously through your nose to a count of 4. As you inhale, you're going to concentrate on allowing your ribs to expand laterally. Then, when we exhale slowly, we expel all the breath from the lungs, and we repeat this. Now let's add some neck movements. Opening your eyes, you can inhale as you take your gaze up towards the ceiling or the sky. Exhale, start to round down through your spine, turning it into a C shape. Again, inhale through the nose to tilt the chin up. Exhale as we tuck the chin down towards the chest, also tucking our pelvis underneath us to help create that C shape through the spine. Come back to center, sitting tall on your sit bones. Now gently take your right ear towards your right shoulder, keeping your shoulders down away from your neck and ears. We'll repeat on the other side. Come back to center, and when you're ready, make your way onto all fours with hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, and gently arch the spine as we look forward on your inhale. Exhale to round the spine, looking down towards your thighs. This is known as cat-cow pose. Again, we're articulating through our spine and starting to create some length and some connection between our brain and body. You can cycle through this cat-cow as many times as you like, going with your breath. It's a great warm-up and mobility exercise. When you're ready, come to a neutral spine where your ear, shoulder and hip are aligned and your rib cage is hugging in towards the center of your body. From here, we'll do torso rotations, also known as thread the needle. Take your left hand towards the sky, reaching, rinsing and twisting through your mid-spine. As you exhale, we thread that left arm through the body between the hand and the knee, coming down to rest gently on your shoulder and your ear. On this last one, we can hold the left hand reaching towards the sky and do some wrist rolls or rotations. Bring the left hand back down underneath the left shoulder, and we take the right side through the thread the needle. Try to move with your breath, your inhales, reaching your right hand to the sky. Your exhales, bringing you down onto your right shoulder. Your right ear gently kisses the mat. Here we're mobilizing the spine, loosening it up, so that when we come to do our rotations and our strength exercises, we're ready and connected to these twists. You can do your wrist rolls in each direction, and then we'll take a seat onto our heels if possible for you. This is called a low kneel. Interlace your fingers and roll out your wrists some more. Exercise number 1. This is a bird dog variation. So find your neutral spine and place your left hand out in front of you on a dumbbell, and then we're going to extend the right leg out behind us. Exhale to lift your right leg. Inhale to tap the right leg down to the floor. Here we're thinking about length out of our hip, so that right leg is reaching away from you. Your rib cage is still wrapping around you like a nice corset to hold and brace your core. Our next movement is like the cat-cow, but in a 2-point kneeling position here. We inhale as we stretch the leg out behind us. We exhale to round the spine, seeing if we can get the knee to touch our nose. It's okay if it doesn't, but that is the intention here. From here, we'll keep the right leg extended behind us, and then we will pull the right heel in towards the sit bones of the right glute. We want to activate the hamstring here, and again, keeping that long spine and that core braced while we are breathing. Can you hold your right heel in towards your glute and pulse your toes towards the sky? When you've done a few of those, you can come into a beautiful child's pose, resting off the wrists, and we'll just take a few long deep breaths here, connecting back to that inhale through the nose and that exhale through the nose as well. Rise back up to your neutral spine position in a 4-point kneeling. We'll take the other side now. So the right arm is extended out in front of you with the hand pressing down onto the dumbbell. Your shoulders are down away from your ears, and your left leg is extended long behind you, reaching it away from you out of that hip joint, creating length. This is the same throughout our spine as well. We're thinking about lengthening the crown of the head away from the center of the body as we lengthen the tailbone away from the head. Right, we've finished our toe taps here. We're going to go into that inhale as we stretch the leg out behind us. Exhale to round your spine, bringing your knee towards your nose. Try to keep your left shoulder directly above your left wrist. Everything else is nice and strong and stable, and we're moving fluidly from that left hip. Let's keep that left leg extended long behind us now, and as we exhale, bend the left heel toward the left glute. We want to think about contracting through the hamstring, the muscle on the back of the thigh here. We're not changing the pelvic position either. It's staying nice and strong and stable. You might feel a little pull through the front of the thigh as the quadricep lengthens. And let's hold the next one and pulse our toe towards the sky. When you're ready, you can relax there and take a wide leg child's pose. So your big toes are together, your knees are wide, and you're melting your heart towards the floor. Think about your breath reaching all the way down into your spine. And on your next exhale, you can come up to a high kneeling position. Taking your dumbbells out in front of you, we're going to go into a low kneel and high kneel as we do this offering position with the arms. Now you'll notice here there's a little rotation. The palms face in towards each other to start, and then as I go into low kneel, I'm rotating the palms to face the sky. If this low and high kneel is not available to you, you could sit on a chair and just do the arm movements. Our next one is a torso rotation. Similar movement to when we did thread the needle, but now we're adding in a combination of low and high kneel, and we're challenging ourselves even more by holding dumbbells. This works the front of the shoulder here. We are in that neutral spine position, so our ear, shoulder, hip and knee stay aligned, and we're thinking about being tall. All of these exercises help you pay attention to the alignment of your body throughout the day, which does give us optimum results. We're not just thinking about a Pilates session one and done. This translates to all areas of our life throughout the day. This next exercise is really challenging. It's called a reverse Nordic curl, and we're pressing through the tops of our toes, keeping a long, strong spine with the arms out in front of us. See if you can lean back and then press through the tops of the feet to draw your body back over top of your knees. The breathing pattern would be inhale as you lean back, exhale to come back up. Very good. That was a hard set. Great work. We'll come off of the knees now and slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time onto your spine. And we're doing a bridge series here. So you want your heels in line with your sit bones. And first we'll focus on the similar movement we did at the very start, like cat-cow, where we tilt our pelvis, arch our spine, breathe in. Tilt the pelvis, press or imprint the spine onto the mat, breathe out. Now I've got my fingertips on my front hip bones here and my thumb on my lower rib cage area. You'll notice when you arch your spine, that space between the ribs and the hips grows long, and when you imprint your spine on the mat, the space between the ribs and the hips narrows. On the next time that you narrow the space and you imprint the spine, I want you to lift your hips up nice and high towards the ceiling or the sky. We press down through all four corners of our feet, and we extend the knees out towards the toes, lengthening from the hip to the knee. Always remember to imprint the spine first and then lift the hips, vertebrae by vertebrae coming off the floor. On the way down, we articulate the spine. Each spinal bone comes down to the mat like a string of pearls being laid down one at a time. If it's there for you, you can reach the arms out in front of you towards the ceiling, but keep your shoulders pressing downwards away from your ears. Bridge is one of our foundational exercises in Pilates. Let's see if we can add a variation here by keeping the hips high and then pressing through all 10 toes to elevate the heels on your exhale. Inhale to lower the heels down and keep your hips as high as possible. Your hands are pressing into the earth to allow a greater lift through the hips. Let's take the hips towards the floor, tuck the knees into chest, and just stretch out the spine by rocking side to side, or maybe mini circles here. We're going to take our bridges up a notch and challenge ourselves with some single leg work. Raise your right leg to tabletop position. This time we just press through our left foot and we imprint the spine and lift the hips. Your right leg stays as still as possible in this tabletop position. If you can, if it's there for you today, extend your right leg now up directly above your hip, reaching, stretching, lengthening through that entire right leg as we continue to do our single leg hip bridge. Now, if this progression is not there for you, you can always go back to the one previously. We're going to lift the hips now and add on a leg lower. So lift the hips, lower the right leg, lift the right leg, lower the hips. After you've done your final one, you can tuck the left knee into the chest, giving that left glute a good old stretch. Okay, relax your shoulders and let's prepare for the other side. This time lifting your left leg to tabletop. Exhale to come up to your single leg bridge. Inhale to roll down one vertebra at a time, connecting to the floor with those hip bones at the back body. If it's there for you, as we did on the other side, can you extend that left leg long, reaching it up towards the sky? Continue to press through the hands into the floor or the mat to help you gain more elevation through those hips. Our third and final layer of this single leg glute bridge is to hold the upward position and then lower and lift your left leg without twisting through your hips or letting your hips drop down. Once you've done your last one, tuck the right knee into chest and give the right glutes a good stretch. Alright, we'll move on to our next sequence now, which is the core. So you're going to find a tabletop position, but the variation here is to open the knees apart, keep the big toes together, and then interlace the fingers above your head, extending your index fingers away from you. As we exhale, we imprint the spine and we curl up, lifting our upper torso off the mat, and we reach towards our heels. Remember, the exhale is important as we reach, and we inhale to stretch all the way back, touching the fingers to the floor if possible behind us. On the next one, I want you to hold and pulse, lifting your shoulder blades off the mat if possible. Really find that upper core strength and release it down. Your hands now come underneath the hips and we'll do a single leg toe tap. Keeping the big toes together to start and the knees open wide. Can you inhale as you take one foot to touch the floor, just the pinky toe touches. Exhale to draw back up to that open knee tabletop. If you'd like an extra challenge here, you can bring the fingertips behind the ears, keep the elbows open wide and lift the upper torso. Your spine is imprinted on the mat and we're not forgetting to breathe in and out through the nose. Really good. Bring the hands down beside your hips, and here we're just going to close the knees together, then open them out again. Great for the inner thighs, great for the lower core. As we squeeze our knees together, exhale. As we open our knees apart, inhale. Okay, the final layer here is to inhale as we lower both toes or both feet to touch the mat. Exhale to draw them back up above your hips. This is quite a challenging one here because we've got double legs moving down and up. Do what you can. If you can't touch the mat with your toes, that's fine. Keep those knees wide, keep pressing the hands down into the mat. And when you've finished your last one, you can take a little froggy stretch, holding the ankles, and then just rock side to side in an open knee position. That should feel pretty good. All right, come up to seated position. We're going to continue to work the core with some roll downs. So you're going to extend your legs long, fold from the waist and reach out over your toes. As we inhale, we roll back one vertebrae at a time, reaching the arms over the head long. And as we exhale, we see if we can come into that roll up position, find an L shape with our spine, and then reach over our toes for a stretch. Now, if this is not here for you today, your variation would be to do a half version. You can bend your knees when you're lying down and then just reach the arms up to touch your knees. So this full roll up, roll down position is really challenging. So please do what you can. And the slower you go, the harder it is going to be. So we're obviously working through our core here, but if you take this flexed foot position now, you can press your heels as an anchor down into the mat and find an even deeper stretch and activation through the back of the legs. Not forgetting to exhale as we come up and inhale as we come down. We're curving through the spine and don't collapse into the movement. Roll down slowly. Want to keep the face relaxed in all of these exercises, especially the jaw. Okay, we have a side lying sequence now. This is called a half plank or half side plank. The elbow is directly under the shoulder. Your base knee is bent towards me and you're extending your top leg as long as you can in line with your spine, your shoulder and your ear. As we exhale, we lift the hips away from the mat. As we inhale, we lower down with control. We're working through the waist that's closest to the mat here and the stabilizers of the shoulder. And now we can add the right hip and glute if we do these leg lifts. Taking that right leg up towards the sky and lowering it back down. Our final layer is our leg sweeps. So you're going to keep that right leg as high as you can and slowly sweep it forward with a flexed foot and then sweep it back behind you with a pointed toe. Try to keep your hips stable here. If you've got your right hand on your hip, that's going to help give you some tactile cues to allow you to keep that hip stable. Once you've finished your last rep, you can take a mermaid stretch here or a Z sit. So you see I've got my left leg in front of my right, and then I'm just reaching that left arm up and over the body for a side stretch. We'll do a reverse mermaid here. It feels pretty good after being down onto your shoulder of the left side anyway. Let's prepare for the other side. This is a great exercise for core strength and concentrating on the lower body. And we need to have patience and work gradually through the progressions to achieve the best results. Just take care not to use momentum in any of these movements. We're trying to do it all with control, which is one of the 6 principles of Pilates. Maybe it's helpful to visualize your leg moving through mud, as this will slow you down rather than rushing through all of the movements. So be aware of the alignment of your hips and keep them stacked on top of each other, as it's quite common for the hips to roll forward and the posture to collapse here. This movement is stabilized by the abdominals and the obliques, the side of the muscles, the side of the waist, the muscles there. Try to keep a constant connection with their involvement. Lovely. Let's take that beautiful mermaid stretch. And then we will move on again. Reverse mermaid here. Lengthen out of the hip, but keep your glutes on the floor. Okay, we have a prone series here. This is for the back and also lower back, glutes, hamstrings. So you're going to lie on your stomach and place your forehead on your hands. Draw the belly button towards the spine, and on an exhale you want to keep the leg long as you lift it, lifting from the hip, so you should feel your knee and thigh lift off the mat as much as possible. Draw the heel towards your bottom as you bend it, and then extend the leg out long, reaching it away from you, and lower it down. It's a very challenging exercise. Ensure that you're keeping your abdominals lifted. Now we can add on a variation here. We do our normal leg lift, and as we bend that back leg, we're going to lift our upper torso and reach back, extending our fingertips towards the mat behind us. You can always go back to the previous variation if you need to. Try and keep your neck long. We're breathing laterally, which is hard to do when you're on your stomach. Imagine there's a drawing pin on the mat underneath your tummy button. You're lifting away from that drawing pin as not to cheat in this exercise. Beautiful. Take a little stretch here, back into that child's pose. See if you can reach your fingertips towards the end of the mat, lengthening through the shoulder joint and the armpits. Okay, take a down dog here. This should feel really good to stretch long through the back body. Press the hands into the earth, strengthen and lengthen through the arms all the way down to the hips. And if it's there for you, just pedal out the heels, bending one knee, pressing the opposite heel into the ground. Hips are high and back. And we're going to take a little walk, tiptoeing our feet towards our hands, and just take a forward fold here. Maybe you do a little nod yes, a little shake of the head no. And when you're ready, we are going to slowly reorganize the spine and stand tall for our leg series. So taking the left leg behind you into a long lunge, your right heel is pressing into the earth. Your left heel remains lifted throughout the series. We inhale to drop the back knee as far towards the floor as we can. We exhale to press through the right heel and stand. Now your hands can be on your hips to help you find that spinal neutral position, or if you want a challenge today, you can bring the fingertips beside the ears here. Adding on, if it's there for you, hold your lunge in the bottom position, lift and lower your right heel once, and then come up to stand. This is a challenging movement for the legs, not just for the legs, but we've got the core working. We've got one more layer here, so you're going to lower in your lunge, lift and lower your right heel, then twist towards your right. So 3 layers, there's options to suit everyone. Don't feel like you have to take all 3 layers. And for this last little burner, we'll just stick with the heel lift and the torso rotation on repeat. Once you've done your last one, you can swivel to face me in a wide squat. So as we squat, our toes are turned out. We're pressing through all 5 toes in the heel. Our knees press out towards our second and third toe. And we're adding some nice floaty arms as we squat down, reaching out to the side. As we stand tall, we float the hands in towards the center of the body, alternating, crossing them over. The next layer is to hold your deep, wide squat and lift one heel at a time, peeling it off the mat. Remember to breathe through your nose. Relax your shoulders. And we're about to add a third layer here, holding your wide, deep squat. Can you go a little further down and lift and lower both heels? Make sure your ankle isn't twisting out to the side, it lifts straight up. Can you hold that heel lifted position and take small circles backwards with your arms open? Small circles forward with your arms open. And then we swivel to the other side and we repeat that lunge sequence. So let's think about alignment here. It's really important in Pilates to have that posture, and as I said earlier in the piece, it translates to everyday life. Our ear, shoulder, hip, and when we bend our back knee, maybe the back knee comes into that alignment as well. Our collarbones are shining open towards the sky. Our rib cage is softly pulling down, not enough to round our upper back though. And we'll go through those layers if they're there for you. So we've got the heel lift and the torso rotation if you want to add that in. And then for the final piece of the puzzle, can we just do the heel lift and torso rotation on repeat? Maybe you can go a little lower. All right, shake out those legs, feet together, and we're going to breathe and reach to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Generous bend in the knees here. Again, you can shake the head yes and no. Relax the shoulders. And maybe you want to hold on to your opposite elbow for ragdoll pose. And just take the upper body swaying side to side. And start to walk the feet back, finding a plank. So lower your hips here. We'll just take a up dog where we roll the shoulders up, back and down away from us, from our ears. Pressing the pelvis towards the earth and finding a length through our front body. When you're ready, you can come to lie down on your stomach, left hand under the cheek or the face. And then we take our right heel in towards our glutes for a thigh stretch. You'll find if you draw your navel up towards your spine, you'll get an even deeper stretch through the front of the thigh and the hip here. You can release, and this is a great movement here to release through pelvic floor, any pelvic tightness, your lower back and hip. So I'm just circling the leg down, out and away from me. Nice and relaxed. You almost let the leg flop around in a circle and go back around the other way there. Okay, that right knee comes out the side of us and we take a half cobra. Again, the focus is stretching through the front body here. We did quite a little bit of flexion or forwards flexion through the abdominals, so it's important to even it out with some extension through the body as well. And we'll take the other side. So gently reaching back and holding on to your left foot if you can. If that's not there for you, you can always use a strap or a belt or a towel. anything that helps you perform this stretch. Relax the shoulders and start to take some deeper breaths here. When you're ready, you can release that left leg and do your little circles to release through the pelvis. Really good just to articulate through the knee, the hip. Quite a gentle movement here. Take that left knee out the side of you and come up onto your elbows for the half cobra modified. Shoulders down away from your ears, starting to cool down through the body. And when you're ready, you can come up to all fours. Tuck the toes underneath you and circle the arms around back onto your hips. Now this is option one here. You can press the hips forward and just take your gaze upwards, maybe backwards. Or you can take half camel, where we take our right hand towards the right heel, press the hips forward, reach the left arm up and back behind you. It's really easy to hold the breath here, so do try to keep your breath normal. And when you're ready, you can come to sit, hero pose. So heels, or bottom on the heels. Just close your eyes down and take a few deep breaths to center yourself after doing that half camel or that back bend. Deep breaths, relaxing through your shoulders, centering through the mind and body. Okay, let's come back up into your high kneel. Tuck the toes underneath you, circle the arms back. Find your back hip bones here as you press the hips forward, trying to keep the hips over the knees. Maybe you do a mini back bend here. Maybe you can look back, or maybe you take that left hand to the left heel and find half camel. Reach through your fingertips, press your hips forward, deep inhale through the nose. Long exhale to find hero pose again. This time one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Long, slow inhale through the nose. Full exhale through the mouth and pursed lips. Emptying the lungs. Again, inhaling deeply. Exhaling fully. That is our session today, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do comment, like, maybe share this video as well, and happy training. See you next time.